So last month was Pride Month, and of course my social media was flooded with lots of beautiful queer couples posting pictures with their partners, as it should be, honestly. And for a minute I thought that I would be one of those people, not necessarily on social media, but just in real life, going to events and having a blast with the person that I was seeing at the time. But my Pride Month did not work out that way, and I am once again single. But instead of being down or sad about the situation, I am just gonna be fully embracing single gal summer this year. And let me tell you, it's gonna be a damn good summer. If you're new here, hi, my name is Erin. I'm a 25-year-old living in Washington, D.C., and I usually make vlogs about my 20-something life in the city. In this vlog, I want to take you through my week because I actually have the full week off for the July 4th holiday. My office is really cool and gives us the full week off every year. It's kind of like our annual closure to kind of force us to unplug and relax before we get into our next busy cycle. And I'm very appreciative of it. Today is Monday, and so instead of doing my work from home routine, I'm actually going to be filming my apartment tour, which by this point will already be live on my channel, so I'll link it in the description if you want to check it out. That's the main thing on my to-do list for today, but also later on in this week I do want to take some time to kind of reflect on my thoughts on dating right now and figure out what I want out of this next chapter of life and how do I want to spend my time now that I have some more alone time to myself. And also think about, in the future, whenever I do get back out there into the dating pool, what am I looking for? I will say that being single again kind of did come at the perfect time because later this week, some friends and I are going on a cabin trip. We're gonna get away to the woods in Virginia for a few days, and I'm really excited. This has become an annual trip for my friend group and I, and it'll be really nice to go with them and just disconnect and focus on my friendships. So obviously I'll take you along for the trip and share some of my dating thoughts later in the video, but today, again, I do just want to focus on apartment stuff. I've actually already filmed most of the B-roll that I need for the video. I did that earlier this weekend. But what I do need to do is get ready to film like the talking portions. So I have kind of a script mapped out in the notes app in my phone. I think I'm going to email that to myself and then write a simplified version of it on paper. I'm a type of person who really likes to write things down by hand. So I think that having just some like bullet points of things I want to cover will be a little bit more natural than just, you know, me reading right from a script. So I'm gonna work on that shortly, and then right after we will get to filming, and I'll show you a little bit of the behind the scenes of that too. I've just been having a really chill day on the couch so far and hanging out with Rhea, who is currently scurrying around with the zoomies, but I just kind of wanted to chat a little bit about what my hopes are for the summer, especially now that it is single gal summer for me. I was technically single this whole time, but long story short, I was in a situationship for a couple of months and it just ended a couple weeks ago, kind of out of the blue. So I am reprioritizing myself right now. I am grateful that I have my cat, and I'm grateful that my friends are all back in town from most of their summer travels. You know, I get to spend time with them, and that's gonna— Rhea, I'm trying to talk. You good over there? She's good. I thought I would be really sad if we ever, you know, didn't work out. And then once we didn't, I felt like the way that things didn't work out really gave me a lot of closure. And ultimately, if someone is going to end things with me out of the blue and, you know, they couldn't communicate what was really bothering them while we were spending time together, and that isn't really a dynamic I want to be around in the long term anyway. Part of the reason that I am feeling all right is I've been blindsided the past 3 times I've really liked people. And I've just had a lot of experience with this situation in particular now, which is, it's sad. If anyone else is, you know, going through like the awfulness that is dating in your 20s right now, leave a comment. I feel like I don't know, maybe some commiserating together would really help, at least in the moment, for all of us. But yeah, it's rough out here. I do think that I have learned that something I need in a future partner is they've got to be in therapy. I have never dated someone who has actively been in therapy while I have dated them. I've been in and out of therapy since I was 16, and I've consistently been working with the same therapist from ages 22 to 25, which is how old I am now. That time, I think, working on myself and trying to understand my flaws, the good things that I bring to the table, everything in between, I think has made me really self-reflective, and I like that part of myself. And I think I want someone to come to the table with that same amount of energy of self-growth on a mental and emotional level. All of that to say, I'm not gonna be dating for a little bit. I actually originally went into this year thinking that I was gonna spend the first 6 months like completely off dating apps and either just try to meet people in person or just completely take a break from dating and be super, super single. I kind of did that, even though I did date someone for a couple months. Like, I still haven't been back on the apps because I did meet this person in person. So in theory, if I stuck to my goal, I could get back on the apps in July this month. But I don't think I'm gonna do that. I think I wanna really take the time to just like be on my own and enjoy my friendships this summer. I also, when I think about dating in the summer, like the summer is the worst season in DC for me. Like, I absolutely hate it. It's so hot and it's so humid. And I also get bit up by mosquitoes like all the time. So thinking about trying to go on a first date with someone and like look cute and not get all sweaty on the metro ride over there and like spray bug spray in the middle of a first date because I'm getting bit up. Like, I just don't want to deal with any of that. I feel like it'll be, I'll feel more comfortable going on first dates in the fall. So my current thought is that like maybe I'll give some new apps a try in the fall. But for right now, it's just gonna be me, my cat, my friends. I have been editing all fucking day. I was also editing almost all day yesterday, which is why I didn't film much. I figured I would catch up with you when I was almost done with that, which I am, thank God. I think I just have to do like a once over watch to make sure like the audio's good, like all the color grading is okay. I was really hoping to get everything done with the apartment tour before I left, but it just doesn't look like that's gonna happen, which is okay. I can totally bring my computer and work on it in the car, but once I'm at the cabin, I wanna be able to unplug with my friends and just enjoy time with them. So that's the current plan, is I'm gonna try to get as much done in the next few minutes as I can, and then it'll be in the car tomorrow. But yeah, like I said, gonna just wrap up here real quick. I do need to pack, but I'm also supposed to leave for a pickup volleyball game shortly. That is something that I'm gonna lean even more into now that I have more solo time to myself, is rejoining volleyball teams. I've been playing recreational volleyball in DC pretty much for the last 2 years, and so I'm gonna organize a team this time. I've never been a team captain, so I'm gonna do that this time, and I've already got people signed up for my team, which is lovely. They're people that I've met through other queer volleyball leagues in the city. But until that starts, I wanna get some physical exercise anyway, and I think pickup volleyball is a good option, but I'm curious how tonight's gonna go. I went last week as well, and it wasn't 100% the experience I was expecting. I will say that I'm probably biased because I'm used to playing in queer leagues where you walk in the door and no matter what, you know that there's something that bonds you with the people that you're playing with. And with pickup, obviously not everyone is gay. I don't mean to be rude, but I think the straight men that I played with last week were just super aggressive. They were all kind of ball hogs, and one guy was even like cracking jokes at other people's expense, I think because he thought it was funny. And I'm just like, in my head thinking, I'm a stranger to you. Why do you think it's okay that you can crack jokes at me? Like, I've never had that experience with the queer leagues that I've been a part of. Everyone is always super, super welcoming. I'm sure they're lovely, like off the court. I was just, you know, going in expecting a little more team camaraderie and didn't get that. So I'm going now on a Wednesday. I went on a Tuesday last time. So I'm curious if there's gonna be different people here. So I am gonna try to leave for that in like the next 10 minutes, but that doesn't give me a lot of time to pack. So I think I'm just gonna get out my duffel bag, throw as much shit in there as I can that I know I need to bring, and then I can finish the rest tomorrow morning if I really need to.
When you sat inside, whipping up your lines about destroying, like you could only care for the big.
I just wrapped up. That was horrendous. I mean, first of all, I didn't play well, so that was a bummer. I got one block in like at the very last second, and like I'm 5'8" and can't jump, so I will take that as a win, but I didn't play very well otherwise. People were playing really chaotically, like casually but chaotically. I have no tolerance for that kind of play because I'm like, I'm not trying to get injured. I don't want anyone else to get injured. So whatever, I'll maybe try a different day next time.
Hey baby, do you wanna take a trip with me? I've got a feeling there might be a silver lining all around. Hey maybe, we could drive the whole night through, see what this old truck can do. I've only driven it in time. Hey baby, I hope it all works out. It always works out.
I wonder if maybe there are some in the rooms we could bring up. Yeah. Or do you mean like taper candles? I feel like we could find some. Yeah.
And all around, so this is like main house vibes, and we all have our like houses around where we live and sleep and stuff, but we come here for.
Yep. Yeah.
This, when I say like, if I like genuinely, I'm saying this very unironically, like this is my movie.
It all works out. It always works out.
Settle down now, never know how. Nobody said it was the easy way. Treading water, times are hard.
Ready, smile.
But I can't believe they're here to stay. Who did I want to be? I forgot myself. Blame nothing but the passing of time. Took me a minute to see when we're open-hearted. Whatever happens, we'll be fine. Hold on. Take my hand and take it easy. Hold on. When you hold me steady. Hold on. Is it worth it with an empty pocket and bills to pay? Wouldn't wish it, but we're living through it, rolling with the punches.